Hi, my name is Bella Ford. These are my 4 note cards, and this is part 1 of my persuasive speech. Have any of you truly ever put your phone down and paid attention to every single second of your class? Yes, this means no scrolling through TikTok, Instagram, or sending your Snapchat streaks while your teacher's lecturing or signing classwork. Well, before the pandemic was completely in person, your phone allowance may have varied depending on the school you attended. But what about online school? Your professor isn't physically present to confiscate your phone to the end of class or reprimand you for looking down at your text messages from your best friends. Well, according to CNN News, a report published in 2019 discovered that U.S. teens spend an average of 7 hours a day on their phones and tweens 5 hours. This means that kids are spending just as much time on their phones as they are in school because there are 7 hours in a regular school day. So where's the time to do homework, study, eat a family meal, exercise, go outside? You may be rolling your eyes at this point and thinking, why would you even bring this up? I need my phone for school. Well, the truth is the detriments of phones in school heavily outweigh the benefits. So the real question at hand is, do phones really disrupt an educational environment? And my firm answer is yes. The worst part is that students are mindlessly distracted because millennials and Gen Z are so technologically inclined. As explained in the book titled What School Leaders Need to Know About Digital Technologies and Social Media by Chris Lehman and Scott McLeod, published in 2011, our behavior online represents a shift in the fundamental way we find ourselves as participants in society. While phones do limit the learning environment in many ways, there are 3 main aspects that prohibit a student from reaching his or her full potential in school. Therefore, my goal of this speech is to explain to you the disturbances, cheating, and lack of skills associated with phones so that you or other students may be aware of the harm of phones in their own school settings. Let's first discuss the distractions and drawbacks that personal phone usage creates in a learning environment. Humans are scientifically not made to multitask, so factually, a student can't be on his phone and pay attention to class at the same time. So many students of all ages may argue with this point and claim that they have time to respond to text messages between assignments and quizzes, but in a classroom, there's truly so much to miss, and a teacher can announce something important at any time of that morning. And in a journal article published in 2018 by Taylor and Francis Group, an experiment was conducted in 2016 in which 118 students were given permission to use laptops or personal phones, and they scored half a letter grade lower than those students who did not use their devices during the exam. Missing assignments and announcements in any school setting most often has a negative spiral effect due to the way most classrooms work too, because lessons are taught, homework is given, quizzes are taken, tests are aced, and then the cycle repeats. So speaking of multitasking, according to an article published in 2018 from Psychology Today, the brain needs a few moments to adjust focus between tasks. It has been proven that it takes almost up to 40 seconds longer to complete a task if you're switching back and forth than it does to complete one task at a time. Therefore, spending time on your phone in class is like trying to curl your hair while cooking. It's just impossible to do both activities at the same time with complete focus and accuracy. Next, allow me to speak upon the ways students can cheat by using their phones. Through apps, generic search engines, and text messaging on their phones, students may have ways to access answers to assignments, quizzes, and tests with effortless reach. It is a universal fact that cheating is morally wrong. It is simply an act of dishonesty, and in most educational situations, cheating is taking another's ideas and making it your own. As stated by an article in Common Sense Media published in 2009, the Benison Strategy Group conducted a study in which 35% and more of teens cheated using their cell phones, and over 50% of teens admitted to using the internet to cheat. Not only can students use the search engines on the internet such as Google and Yahoo, but students may converse with each other for answers. If the teacher doesn't know to look for phones during class, students can strategically hide their phones and get away with it. Now, there are hundreds and hundreds of answer keys, submission reports, and pictures of work on the internet, mostly uploaded for educational purposes and teaching purposes. But some are on there just to help students with cheating. But because all this information falls under the same source, the internet, students may access anything with the simple click of a button. And if phones were not allowed during the school day, this problem could be easily avoided. The third and final preview component of this argument, the third and final component of my argument deals with the prevention of skillful study habits by phones in school. Time management, focus, and effort are three crucial characteristics of a successful student, and phone usage doesn't allow for this personal growth. Kevin Brown, an English professor at Lee University, noticed a student rudely not paying attention to his classmate's presentation one spring semester. So when Professor Brown closely examined his student, he realized that the student was in fact distracted by his phone. This led Professor Brown to implement a no-phone policy in his classroom, which has worked out in the best way for him and his students. The classroom atmosphere has become much less distracting. This is a real-life story, a testimony provided in a paper published in 2020 from Insider Higher Ed that describes only one example of the benefits of a no-phone classroom. If a student is splitting time between filling out a worksheet and sending Snapchats to their friend, how are they supposed to develop time management skills? Or if a student is scrolling through Facebook and looking at their parents' last posts and trying to focus on the paper that they're writing in front of them, how are they supposed to focus? Or if a student is intensely typing away with his thumbs, how is he supposed to pass the next quiz the teacher's handing out instructions for? Well, as I conclude my speech, I'm going to give you a recap on all that I have talked about regarding the usage of phones, whether that be for in-person classes or online classes. So in a journal article from Gale Academic One File, published in 2004, a fourth grade teacher from Arizona named Erica Schwatzky claims that something as simple as a phone call can consume a student's entire brain, blocking out any school-related information. He further states that phones are simply not a necessity for academic success. Basic tools in real-world success should be taught in school, and a handheld phone should not stand in teachers' and students' ways of fulfilling their jobs. Banning the usage of cell phones in school could tremendously benefit students in numerous ways. There would be less distractions, more opportunities to focus, and a major decrease in cheating. As a united country that prides itself on the quality and opportunity of education, I say we work together to build the best learning environments for students of all ages, schools, races, and pathways. Not everything in life is at our fingertips or at the touch of a screen, so why should we build our basic foundation of learning upon this technological access that we call phones? Thank you.